Hey guys, today's video is going to be a quick one going over update 7.0.5.0 of Destiny, otherwise known as a mid-season update for Season 20. I'm not going to go over every single patch note in this video, but if you guys want to see it, I'll have a link down in the description, feel free to go through it. Some of my favorite patch notes are comp. Max rank is now going to have an emblem tied to it, and it's a really cool looking one. I'll have it here on the screen. I'm going to be chasing it down later in the season, so feel free. Our seasonal challenges are going to be tied to a rotator playlist now, so you have all three of these at the same time. So if you need to do a momentum seasonal challenge, you have to try and go momentum. Kind of unlucky for people who just play for the seasonal challenges, but if you enjoy the game modes, that's good news. Rift is getting a big change. Grapple can now work with the spark. You don't drop it anymore, but you cannot go faster than 15 meters per second. So no more shatter skating or well skating into the Rift. You need to stop all momentum before you dunk it. Next up, we have Tormentors now give reses and Nightfalls, so that's really cool. I was always wondering why they didn't when Hive Guardians did, but now we have an answer. It was just bugged. Next up, we have overcharged weapons for Defiant Battlegrounds are now changing every week. Awesome. And a really, really big one is Master Duality. Golron, the first encounter that was bugged about a week ago or a month ago, so you could just make Golron fall off the cliff and make him die so you get free loot, is now patched. So if you want to get loot from that encounter, you need to do the full encounter. I would just recommend going to Master Kaido. Probably the biggest piece of news we got today is that PvE primary weapons are getting buffed. Auto rifles, pulse rifles, hand cannons, sidearms, and scout rifles are all getting a buff today to red and orange bar enemies. It values differently based on the weapons, but these are very significant because they also apply to exotic weapons. So stuff like Revision Zero, Ariana's Vow, Trespasser, Touch of Malice, those are all getting like increased damage buffs, so they will be even better than they already are in PvE. Very good change, very happy about this. These next changes are mostly catered towards PvP, but Ikelos SMG is now getting increased recoil to be in line with other aggressive SMGs because it just was the best energy SMG in the game, and now it should compete better with other weapons. Immortals still needs to be toned down. It's still going to be the best SMG in the game, so if you have it, run wild. Fusion rifles, rapid fire fusions are going to get a buff. I've heard this is going to put us in a rapid fire fusion meta. I haven't played Crucible in a minute, so I'm not sure how good they are at the moment, but people say this little slight buff that it's getting is going to be really, really insane. Trace rifles are basically getting a body shot damage increase and a flinch reduction. So they're increasing the base damage but reducing the multiplier, but the multiplier for precision is basically going to be the same, so don't worry about the changes there, but the body shot damage will go up by 4%. This is a really huge change for snipers. Rapid fire snipers are getting 30% extra reserves and 50% recoil reduction. So in PvE specifically, this is going to be super good, especially with the 10% damage bonus we're getting next season. Very happy about this change, and I'm excited to see where snipers end up in the meta. We have a few more PvP changes to go through. Final Warding can no longer mark targets through barricades. I've never ran into this thing in Crucible, but I've heard it's pretty annoying, so that's a pretty significant nerf that it's getting. Terabuzz getting the range nerf and the Ravenous Beast nerf that we saw in a few TWABs a few weeks ago. Revision Zero is getting a really interesting change. I'm not too happy with the 4 times the charm change being reset. I found it the most fun part of the weapon, but other than that, it's getting a buff to its Hunter Trance damage, which is really good, as well as the 2 burst is getting a 75% buff, which is very, very significant. This is on top of the 20% buff pulse rifles are getting, so Revision Zero might be a gun to really mess around with. It might be really, really strong. The Enhanced Wellspring did get fixed. It was not working properly according to Bungie, and now it's going to give more energy, which is very welcome. Biggest thing of this update, Root of Nightmares Adept weapons can now be enhanced. The traits on them can be upgraded and enhanced. I'm not exactly sure, but it says if you have unlocked Deep Sight on the weapons, you can enhance the sockets. So very interesting change. I want to see how this plays out. Maybe I can use some of my adept weapons and not feel guilty that I'm not using my crafted. So this last area is just about quality of life changes. Rally Barricade is getting a pretty nice buff, so the area of effect is now bigger. You have more space to work with behind the Rally Barricade for the reload buff, and specifically the Lance Cap, the new exotic helmet Titans got for Diamond Lances, is really, really helpful because you have more area to work with and you can throw more Diamond Lances and play your cover better, basically. I think this change is going to be really nice. It won't change too much, but it's a good welcome change. We can now get our glaives from the evidence board. We've been told this since Lightfall came out that we can get the other 2 glaives, the class-specific ones from Witch Queen. we can now get them. The bug has been fixed. We can now get the other patterns. The last thing I wanted to point out is best dress combination. Please give this to me at all times. I really care about my fashion. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoy the patch notes. Like I said, I didn't read all of them, of course. If you want to see them, it's in the description. I hope you guys all have a good day. Subscribe. See you guys later.